Hi, friends. So you know how I always say you're not being punished, you're being prepared. I'm going to give you an example of this and how to fully believe that and stick with it when things go bad. Basically, I'm going to share with you how to handle bad things happening and things going wrong. Because I lost an $8,000 ring, it still makes me quiver a little bit, okay? Because I never lose things, ever. But I'm going to tell you everything that came about from it, the mindset, and what I gained from it. But basically, I just want to walk you through this whole scenario so you can anchor into it and fully believe and see through my experience. There's a new perspective. You're not being punished, you're being prepared, and believe it. Because when you're going through bad shit, it's real hard to be looking at God like, yeah, this is happening for me. You fuck. There was a lot of realizations and downloads that hit me in the head with this whole situation, especially about relationships and not questioning your value. So I'm excited to share it. But also I want to say, tickets to my tour are still on sale. I will link them in the description. At my live shows, I teach you everything I know about confidence and hit it from a lot of angles that you don't know exist. Because I went from cripplingly insecure to where I am now, which is the confident fuck. Not arrogant though. I'm not arrogant. I'm just assured. No, but in all seriousness, I teach you how to caretake yourself and take yourself through this whole journey of confidence. But let's get into the story about this ring, okay? I want to wring somebody's neck just thinking about it. So this ring that I had was a Cartier Panther. And I wanted this ring. It was like 7,000 something. I don't know. It was almost $8,000 of tax and all that. But I had wanted this ring since I'm like 16. There's a reason I'm telling you all these details. I've wanted this ring since I'm like 16. And as soon as I started making money last year and doing good and like achieving things, I was like, yay, I'm finally going to buy it for old me, like little me, who wanted it so bad because I love Panthers. Black Panthers are my favorite animal. But I've always been obsessed with this Cartier ring. And I bought it for myself for Valentine's Day on 2023. And this ring, I'm a sentimental prick, okay? And things mean a lot to me. I'm a Pisces. I get very attached to things and I'll make things be more meaningful than they are. But this ring meant a lot to me, and it was with me on my first tour, at my first live event. It was with me at my first podcast I ever went on, and every podcast after, like while I was blowing up. And this ring like was with me through this whole journey. And to lose it, oh, I was so upset. It was a really significant thing to me to reflect and like see how far I've come and to just like signify my like start of my success that I've been busting my ass for since I can remember. So now that I've established how important this ring was to me, I looked everywhere for it. And like I said, I'm not someone who loses things, but this is a key thing that gave me peace of mind. When I was in New York is when I lost it. I was flipping between hotels and I remembered having it at the first hotel. And when I went to my second hotel, I remember having it, but I couldn't find it. And it was time to switch to my next hotel. So I was like, scouring the whole hotel. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pack up every single thing that I own, every single thing that I have. And if the ring is here, if it's still with me, it's somewhere in my stuff because I didn't have time to start hunting for it. I had to move to the next hotel. By the time I realized it was gone, like for sure, I thought I had just like tucked it away. And then I started looking for it, started panicking. And when I was panicking, I just had to kind of reassure myself and be like, all right, if it's with you, it's in something that you have. It's somewhere in some bag, in some pocket, in a jacket, in a pair of jeans. It's somewhere. I packed up every single thing I had, so I had the peace of mind to move to the next place. No matter what, if it's with me, it's here. So I get to the next place. Now I have time to look for it. I go through everything. Every single thing that I owned, I went through it. I flipped everything inside out. I went into the linings of my suitcases. I literally looked everywhere I could. It was gone. Miss Panther ran away. Oh my God. And I was so upset. But it wasn't just I lost the ring. I was going through a lot of really, really dark stuff. You guys saw the podcast episodes I was making while I was on my New York little extravaganza. And I was not good. I was not doing okay mentally, emotionally. I was questioning my relationship with the universe again, with God. I was literally at the lowest point I think I've been in my life, on the brink of if one more thing goes wrong, I'm out of here. You know, like I was yelling at the universe, if you don't give me some fucking answers soon, I'm out of here. And then I lose the ring. This bitch wanted to play. So in that moment, You basically get a choice. You can look at yourself like, what did I do, God? Like, what the hell did I do to deserve this? Why is this happening to me? Why is this being done? And you can look at the whole feeling punished aspect of, I don't deserve this. This shouldn't be happening. And you can go down that road. Or you can remind yourself you're not being punished, you're being prepared. This is not happening for no reason. This is happening for you. Life happens for you. Even when things are negative, there's something you're meant to learn. There's something that is trying to rip your eyes open to a new piece of awareness or a new understanding of something. That's exactly what was happening here. And I was trying so hard to cling to, this is happening for me, but I really saw no rationale for it. With everything else that was already going on, I'm not going to go into detail, but losing the ring, I literally was like, are you kidding me? I just told you I was out of here if you pissed me off one more time. God was like, let's see if you stand on it. But with trying to look at it from the perspective of this is happening for me, I literally just sat down in the new hotel after I couldn't find it and was like, fuck, what now? How could this be happening for me? You know? And then I noticed the feeling of relief that it was gone. Hang with me. So when that feeling of relief popped up, I was like, wait, here it is. This is what to go into. And I sat there with it for a second and I was like, low-key kind of relieved that I lost it, because to have something that valuable just on your finger, and I had it on my pinky, that's where I wore it, stressed me out a little bit. Having something of such high value added stress to my life. And I was at a point mentally, emotionally, like I said, with everything going on, I could not take on, or I didn't feel like I could take on any more pressure. I felt very crippled by everything going on. Having that ring was more pressure. And it made me have to live a certain way. Like when you're out in public, you got to watch your surroundings a little more when you got jewelry on, because I don't just wear the ring. I got the bracelets, I got the jewelry, I got everything, you know what I mean? But with that ring, it was just another added piece of stress and more pressure. And what I was wanting from life was a relief. And I got it in a way I did not expect. But I realized with the whole relief thing, with losing the Panther ring, that having something of value, if you are not in a place to caretake it, will stress you out. And when you really think about having something like that, you have to watch what you do. Like I said, like the way you go out in public, the way you do things, you have to look after it. You can't just put it down anywhere. You can't just like be careless with your hands, because God forbid she flies off, takes off running. Oh my God, I would freak out. But basically having that just added a little more stress to my life. And I realized that once I lost it and I felt the relief, I was like, oh shit. And then that broke me into a whole nother perspective with people, because people that are not good enough for you or not up to your standards or do not match you will feel relief in your absence. That's one thing, if you don't understand, will make you question the hell out of yourself. And I unlocked this perspective, and it was very applicable to something going on at the time for me. And it made me understand people from a whole new angle. To have something of value, like I talked about with the ring, to have someone of value, what you have to do to keep that person in your life is a lot for some people. And if they're not up to your standards and they're not someone that can hold space and take on the pressure of having something valuable, it will stress them out to a point they want to get rid of it or stay away from it, or they won't be able to maintain it and keep it in their life. Because when you're dealing with someone who is a valuable person and you care about them and they hold themselves to a very high standard, they hold everybody to a high standard. And for someone who's not that standard to try and be that standard is exhausting. It's literally exhausting. And most people cannot handle the pressure of valuable things, especially people, because it would require an entire reconstruction of who they are and how they live. So how I said with the ring, I have to change the way I live a little bit and the way I operate. When you have someone of value in front of you, you're going to have to change a lot more than just worry a little bit when you're in public because of the value of a ring. It's a person in your life and it's a love you want to keep. And if you don't feel good enough for it, or if there is really a stretch or a gap in the way you two present yourselves, the things you value and the standards you hold yourselves to, the people who are not of that same caliber are going to feel a massive stretch to match the thing of value and to maintain that thing of value and that connection in their life. It's gonna be a big stretch, and a lot of people will fold under the pressure. If you are someone, like I talk about all the time, if you give a Birkin to a crackhead, they're not gonna know how to treat it because they don't know the value of it. The same thing happens when you give someone something they don't see themselves as good enough for. That's a whole different dynamic. It's not that they don't know how to treat it, like a crackhead with the Birkin, they just don't see the value in it. When someone does see the value in it, the immediate shift that is required and the shift that they feel like they have to make to maintain it and hold on to it and keep it is a lot of pressure. And it's also a big reflection of what they're not and the caliber they're not on. That's a lot of heat to be under when you're face to face with it. It's a big, big mirror when you're dealing with situations like that. But when you're the person that other people see the value in and they don't see themselves as good enough to be there for you or be with you, be friends with you, date you, whatever it is, if they don't feel qualified or capable to close that gap in you and them level wise, I hate to talk about people on being on different levels, but it's the truth. Like, sorry, but this is a piece of mental armor I want to give you. If people feel that stretch and they can't close that gap, I don't want you to ever question your value because someone couldn't hold on to you or rise to the occasion to be good enough for you. If you know someone is not up to your standards, it's unfair for you to ask them to change to be that. You should find someone who's already there. And my best friendships have worked when I find someone who's already on my level and already at my standards and lives the way that I live, because we just blend into each other's lives. There's no stretch and there's no insecurity. There's no bullshit. It's just a genuine love. And you don't feel like you have to earn anything. It's just a positive uplift. It's not like one dragging the other up or down. It's just the genuine, neutral, pure love. And I can't explain it. I have not experienced this yet with dating because I haven't dated someone up to my standards yet. Call me an umbrella because I will throw a little fucking shade when I want to. But that's my own mistake and my own fault for even giving people chances. But once I meet the person that I want to date that is good enough for the standards that I have, I'm 100% certain it's going to be amazing. No one's going to question nothing because I've already had this type of love received through friendships and other dynamics that it's the best thing when the values match. But when you have someone who is better or more attractive or makes more or more intelligent and the other doesn't feel the same, or even if they are the same, but they just don't see it in themselves, it causes a lot of headache and it's just a shit show. And I don't ever want you to question your value because I know how hard that is and I know how hurtful it is. It's painful as hell and it's like a heartbreak every single time you question it. And this is one way you can misread a situation and make it about you. If someone can't rise to the occasion, and even if you don't see the value in yourself, if someone is kind of coming at you with this energy and it just seems like a lot of effort and work, or you stress them out, or you can't figure out why they don't want you, you might not be seeing your true caliber, but they're seeing it. And the most dangerous thing you can do is not see your own worth accurately, because a situation like this will make you question yourself. You will feel worthless. You will feel not worth fighting for. You will feel not worth the effort. So I just wanted to give you that perspective because that's what unlocked with me losing the Panther ring. The very valuable lesson, yes. Worth the money? No. Like if you walked up to me and you were like, Leo, I will give you this lesson and this new piece of awareness for $8,000. I would simply high five you and walk off. No, I wouldn't. I probably would give you the money to pay for this because this goes into another angle and it goes even deeper with things that you want in life and things you want to achieve or do. A lot of people are not able to become a vibrational match to it and line up with the experience or line up with the thing that they want because of the reconstruction that is necessary. The way you're going to have to behave and live and be is completely different with the thing that you want, whether it's an opportunity or a certain amount of money or a certain type of person you want to have in your life. It's going to require a lot from you to close that gap. Like I talked about with other people with the value thing, for you to get this thing of value that you want or to manifest a certain thing, you're not going to be a vibrational match to it. And you cannot get it if you're not aware of what needs to change within you and what you need to do to build yourself to match to it. You have to vibrate at the same frequency. I don't like to talk too spiritual about it, but let's just fucking go into it. You have to vibrate at that level to get it. And if you're not at that level, you're not going to get it. It's as simple as that. So if you're someone who wants an $8,000 ring, look at the hidden things you're going to have to do and things you're going to need to be ready for to mentally prepare, and consequences you're willing to choose to have this thing of value or have this opportunity. You're going to have to change a lot about yourself. So like with the ring, you're going to have to change how you go out in public. You're going to have to change how you take care of it. You're going to have to get insurance on it. Make sure you get insurance that covers loss. But a lot of people don't think to have their jewelry insured. And there's a lot of different mindsets, and you're going to have to think and look at life and look at things and maintaining this thing that you want in a whole different way. So if you have something that you want and you're not able to get to it yet, what would you have to act like and be like once you have it? What would need to change? What would your priorities need to be? Where would your effort and attention need to be focused on? Because when I'm wearing that ring, my attention and focus is not on just being carefree and having a good time. It's making sure I got it and giving a little bit of attention to it and making sure it's maintained and taken care of and looked after. That's a big thing people are not willing to do. And that's a consequence you have to choose with the things that you want, is the things that come with it to maintain it and stay a match to it and be a match to it to even get it. And it's not even about the price of the ring, because I'm in a place where I can go buy a ring again. I don't want another one. I want the one I was so sentimental about and the one that was with me through the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted the sentimental thing. It's not even about the money, because a lot of people would say, oh, if you can't afford to go rebuy it like it's nothing, you shouldn't be buying something. And I kind of agree with that. But my whole point is, it was more meaningful to me than just the money associated with it. Because like I said, I could just go buy a new one, but that's not the point. All right, quick pause to talk about the sponsors of today's podcast. The first one is ZocDoc. And ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare highly rated in-network doctors near you and instantly book appointments with them online. And they don't just have a couple of doctors, like a little handful. They have tens of thousands of doctors you can choose from. And you can see what people actually have to say because all of their patient reviews are verified. So not everybody can just go on there and leave a fake review. And it's really good to know and be able to see reviews for people who have been to these doctors and what their actual genuine thoughts are, because you want a doctor who is really going to take care of you and focus on you, not the paycheck and what they can prescribe you. So being able to see the verified patient reviews is a bonus, and you don't have to go through the whole vetting process of going to see doctors to realize you don't like them. So go to ZocDoc.com/aware and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then you can find and book a top-rated doctor near you today. That's ZocDoc.com/aware. Now our next sponsor is Seed, and they're a symbiotic, which is a mixture of prebiotics and probiotics for gut health. And Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic promotes and supports better moods along with better gut health. And they help maintain healthy digestion, so that's a plus. Your body is an ecosystem, and great health starts in the gut, and that's an important thing to know. Seed's patented capsule-in-capsule design means fragile bacteria can survive the journey from shipping to your door to where it works best in your body, without any synthetic and chemical coatings. Seed is backed by a lot of science and a lot of clinical research, and they do offer a subscription service, so you don't have to worry about running out. So trust your gut with Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic and go to seed.com/aware and use code 25aware at checkout to get 25% off your first month. That's 25% off your first month of Seed's DS-01 Daily Symbiotic at seed.com/aware. Code 25aware. And our last sponsor is Storyworth, and this is one of the cutest things I've heard of in a long time, and I love it. So Storyworth is a website, and they will email your loved ones a thought-provoking question that you get to help pick. And this is just in time for Mother's Day, or any mother figure you have in your life. This is a way to hear stories and hear insight and everything you want that will help you connect better with your loved one and like the mother role in your life. And Storyworth makes all the writing easy. So all your loved one has to do is respond to the email that Storyworth sends them with a story. Long or short, it doesn't matter. And you'll be emailed a copy of your loved one's response as they're submitted over the course of the year. So you'll get to hear all these stories you didn't know about or some that you did know about, and it's all kept up with, because after that year, Storyworth compiles your loved one's stories and photos into a beautiful keepsake hardcover book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come. They get a copy and you also get a copy to keep for yourself. And it's right on time for Mother's Day. So if you want to start this, that can be the gift. So give all the moms in your life a unique, heartfelt gift that you'll cherish for years. Storyworth. Right now, save $10 on your first purchase when you go to storyworth.com/aware. That's storyworth.com/aware to save 10% on your first purchase. Now, back to the podcast. But I kind of want to tie this back around to what I said. People who are not good enough for you will feel relief in your absence. The thing I want to say about this, and the thing I really, really want you to hear from the bottom of my heart, is if you see someone feel relief or seem like they're just doing fine without you, friend, relationship, family member, whatever, I don't want you to immediately assume that they're happier because you made their life worse or you weren't good enough or all this and that. They're getting relief from the pressure that they were under to try and be good enough for you. So yes, they might miss you and be devastated, but that relief is going to kind of cover that. It's going to seem like they're just free. And I don't want you to question yourself about that. Look at the situation accurately. This is not going to apply to everybody. It's just a good mindset to have, a new perspective to have if it doesn't apply to you. But if it does apply to you, read the situation, evaluate it, and look at it. If you were them trying to be with you, what would be so hard to try and maintain you? Are they not used to being so attentive? Are they not used to living in a certain way, prioritizing, giving consideration, and operating a certain way that they have to operate with to be with you and to make sure that you're okay and meet needs for you? You see, just reflect on that and look at that. And definitely just have it in the back of your head whenever you're trying to manifest something or you want something, you want to achieve it. What are the consequences I'm not yet seeing that I will have to choose to be able to get it and be a match to it? You need to go ahead and start acting like that before you get the thing and making space for it vibrationally and being on that level, because it's going to make it just fill in. If you make a space for it, the universe has to drop it in. God has to give it to you. It's not has to. You will it in with your attention and your focus and showing that you're capable and ready. And you've chosen these consequences for this thing that you're ready to have. You can't be experiencing the consequences without the thing. It's going to fall in your lap. It will take effort, and you will have to line things up and put intentional effort into manifesting things. But I don't want you to think it's like the ring is just going to fall in your lap. I had to go to the fucking store and buy it after I made the money to buy it. But my point is, it's going to speed up, and a lot of things are just going to line up weirdly. But once you start acting like that, and you see them hidden consequences, and you choose them, what you want is coming on a fast track to you. So with this whole experience, I could clearly see how this happened for me, because these realizations and these new pieces of awareness that I unlocked because I lost the ring, what this triggered for me, brought me so much comfort and relief. And I became actually okay with losing the ring, because I was like, okay, moving forward, I'm a version of Leo with this new mindset and this new understanding and a relief from these emotions that have plagued me for a long time. I'm the Leo walking forward without the ring and also without the bullshit, but with this new perspective. I got a sense of appreciation for moving forward without it and understanding how it happened for me. And it kind of wrapped it all up in a nice little bow. Was it this fast, how I just explained it? No. This took a couple of weeks to feel through, mentally wrap my head around and see it all happen. But I did feel even more connected with God, the universe. I am fully convinced, again, I got a nice refresher. You're not being punished, you're being prepared, and you are being guided. These things are happening for you. Every bad thing is happening for you and is trying to wake you up to something. That is fully solidified in me, and I don't think I will ever question it again. Ever. And that's what this gave me, is this new faith and understanding and optimism and hope to anchor into anytime bad things happen. So all of this I got, but I lost the ring. I see that as a way better trade-off, because the comfort that I got having the ring on doesn't touch the comfort that I got from this whole experience of losing it. But this is another perfect example where I always talk about your focus is very, very powerful. If you were to focus and sit here and be looking at how life is so unfair, all you're going to see is more proof of that. If you're sitting here looking at how you're being punished and how it's not fair and this shouldn't be happening, you're going to do nothing but feel even worse about the situation. It's normal to catastrophize for some people. There's a weird sense of comfort with trying to understand and prove and fight to prove that you're so upset and you're allowed to be upset. I'm allowed to be pissed off about this ring. Look at all these other bad things going for me. How I feel is fully valid because look at what's happened. That's an attempt to validate your negative emotion. Take that focus once you realize you're going down that route. Take the focus off of it. Validate how you feel. You feel like fucking shit. You're mad. You're annoyed. Great. It's fully fair. You don't have to fight to prove it anymore. And then take your focus and put it on, but what if this is happening for me? What would it mean then? What would things look like then? What new perspectives is going to unlock? What feelings are coming up? Like I talked about with the ring. I was like, what the fuck? And then I noticed the feeling of relief and I literally clung to it because it felt better than all the negative and catastrophizing and the whole life is unfair. I'm being punished, all this and that. The feeling of relief felt a little bit better. So I clung to it. And when I went into it and sat with it is when I started to notice all these things that made me feel even better. So when you notice things are going bad, any thought you can think that's a little bit leveled up or any new perspective you can unlock to how is this happening for me will do nothing but snowball in that direction, which will make you feel so much better about whatever you're going through. And I got this nice, good refresher and I 100% believe it. And I do want to say, I found the ring. This was nothing but a roller coaster from hell. Here she is, little Miss Panther. She's back in my possession. She's fine. She never left, honestly. I just misplaced her. She's hiding from me because she had to teach me something. But all is good and well. And I'm very happy I have it. But my relationship now, well, let me put it on actually. My relationship now going forward with the ring, now that I have it, is completely different than I had it before. Like I said, I have all these new perspectives. I just feel better having this on. She's back. She's back in action. But the way I felt before about having the ring and then having it need to be brought to my awareness of the relief of not having it is now that I have it again and I understand everything that's just went on. Having this ring now doesn't stress me out anymore because I'm willing to choose to be someone who can maintain the value of it and hold it and have it. For me to look after it now and not misplace it and make sure I'm aware in public and I'm not flailing my hands too much when I'm like out at dinner or doing something. I'm waving them right now because I'm home and if it flies off, I'll find it. But all the attention and all of the reconstruction and like effort I have to put into making sure that I have this and that it's okay is a choice now that I'm willing to make. And I don't feel like this pressure that I don't understand where it's coming from and feeling annoyed and secretly like a little like resentful. I don't need that feeling of relief to come back from losing it. I'm willing to choose what it takes to keep it and have it. And just moving forward with that perspective and choosing this feels so much better. It feels so much better. But I was real scared for a minute. I was so upset. I was so devastated. I was so cry about it. I didn't cry. I ain't that much of a bitch. I didn't cry for you. I should have. But my whole point I wanted to reiterate with this episode is everything's happening for you. Because remember, like I said, I was in a place where I just felt so much pressure. I wanted it to be relieved. I felt like God was punishing me with how he took the pressure off of me, but it was just pressure taken off of me, even though it was through the ring. You also got to watch your mouth what you ask for, because words are spells. If you're over here asking for all this and that, asking, it's given. And the universe or God, whatever you want to call it, is not going to be selective. Oh, this might hurt you a little bit. You ask for pressure to be taken off. You ask for answers. Okay, give me the ring. It's just going to pick what's causing you stress and what's going to help you. So just remember, you're not being punished ever. You are being prepared. And what you ask for, you will get. And do not ever question your value. Because a lot of the times, people just are trying to escape the pressure. And people who are not good enough for you will feel relief in your absence. Remember me saying that. And remember who the fuck you are. No more questioning that. No more boohoo cry. No more nothing, okay? Now you're mentally locked in with these new perspectives. I hope these brought you as much relief as me. Because I love this whole experience. I was scared shitless. But I'm happy to be reunited with my little panther. I still haven't named it. But she sure as shit ran away. But she came back. So, triggering my little abandonment issues. Girl, don't do that. Oh, it's so cute. But now I'm even more bonded to it. And now it's even more sentimental. Because now it's an integral part of all of this. And like how I've gained a lot of new awareness. And like she set me free from a lot of emotions that I didn't know how to let go of. And a lot of perspectives that were hurting me that I wasn't aware of. So trust how things happen. Just remember me saying that. And like I said at the beginning of this episode, if you want to come see me on tour, you can see the Panther in person. I will leave the link in the description where you can go and get a ticket. So go grab one. If you get a ticket, post it to your Instagram story so I can see it. I love messaging everybody and getting excited. I'm so pumped and I'm so excited for this next tour. You guys have no clue, but I love to key. So if you buy a ticket, just post it on your story. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, goddammit. And if you're listening to the audio version of this on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, leave this podcast a 5 stars rating for Little Miss Panther coming back. But I will leave the link to all of my social media in the description. You can add me on Snapchat, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, all my things. You can see what I'm doing. But that's all I've got for this week's episode. Me and my Panther are going to go hang out. Everybody be safe, take care of yourself, and we will talk to you next Sunday.